Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, February 14th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. In tonight's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the craziness that I encountered this week, specifically regarding eBay messages and lowball offers. As you probably know, the eBay message system is designed only to ask pertinent questions about an item. Like, for instance, what size is it? What color is it? Do you have only one? Legitimate questions. You cannot use the contact system to harass a buyer or seller or call them out for their pricing in any way. Unfortunately, even though it's against eBay rules, eBay will not lift a finger to do anything. Buyers can run rampant and abuse sellers as much as they want. Thankfully, I haven't had what I'm going to call the ultimate threat this week, but somebody in the Facebook groups has, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. I want to start off and I want to read to you and show you, the craziness, absolute insanity that I went through this week. I don't know what's bringing them out. I really don't. On the bright side, as far as sales are concerned, it was a pretty good week. Just like last week, things are starting to go up for Cute Joey. So Cute Joey's happy with profit. But I want to show you something, and I'm going to start off with a lowball offer. There is no reason to ever send an offer of less than 50% of the person's asking price. I find that to be an insult. If a person offers me 50% or more, I roll with it. I don't accept it, but I roll with it. So if the item, let's just say, is $100, as long as they offer me more than $80, there's a very good chance we're going to make a deal. If they offer me $55, no deal, but no harm done. If they offer me $30, we're going to have an issue, because not only will I decline the offer, I will block them, and I will let them know they're being blocked. So take a look at this. I have an item right now that's $53.95 with a 10% off sale. It's a hot item. I know it'll sell. However, if someone sends me a reasonable best offer, I will accept it. Look at this clown. Look at this clown, what he sent me. He sent me an offer of $15 on my $53.95 item. And as you can see, the message I wrote back to him. I said, I'm blocking you and you can't do a thing about it. And he can't. Some of you guys may think, well, Joe, you should block him. But isn't that a little overkill? No. Because if I just blocked him, he might not get the message. This way, hopefully, he will not do it to you. All right? That's just plain ridiculous. Okay. Next. When I have somebody that gives me an inkling they're going to be a problem, I avoid them. Okay? Right now I'm looking for the correct pictures, and of course I never have anything in the correct order. So we'll just find it. Okay. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to show it to you. I have an item that's $18. $18. Plus shipping with USPS Ground Advantage, which is the cheapest possible shipping there is for this item. It has to go in a box, which is going to be 8 by 8 by 4. Okay? Why is shipping so high, but prices are low? Clearly, you just need to get rid of the junk. I'll give you $1 and you will make money off shipping. Okay, bozo? Now, as you know, that violates eBay rules right there. All right, that's harassing another member. I reported him, but I can guarantee you eBay will do nothing. I'll put money on it. I will bet any of you guys right now, any terms you want, eBay will do nothing. And how am I so sure? I'll get to that in a second. Next item. This is what I call stupidity plus. I'm going to show you this one too. I have a picture of 2 hubs listed for $36 plus shipping. The guy writes, "Is that price for 2 or 4? With the amount of shipping, hope it's 4. This is the highest shipping I ever saw or even willing to pay. Thanks and have a blessed day." There is the screenshot. How could somebody be so freaking goddamn stupid to ask a question like that? When you see 2 in the picture, the listing shows 2. I just don't get it. So I blocked him with my usual message saying, "I'm blocking you and you can't do a thing about it because you're too cheap." All right? I'm not done yet. Oh, we can go on all night, but I'm not going to. I'm going to show you a few more and then we'll get moving. So now I have this guy that bought a hub from me and he didn't put it on correctly. All right, it happens. He lost it a day or 2 later. He writes, "I'm sorry, but this item was not original. This was a replica. I felt it when I take it to hands. So it was not fit very good to wheel and fell out somewhere. Only one day it was on my wheel." And he shows me a picture here of his empty wheel. There's his empty wheel. Okay? So I wrote back to him and I showed him a screenshot from the listing where I show the original part number from the back of the item. Then he writes back to me again and changes his tune and says, "Well, yeah, it was original, but it didn't fit right." He don't know what he's doing. And there's no way he can return it to me because he lost it. This has been a very, very crazy week. All right? A crazy week. Someone has definitely left the barn door open. Now, to get back to what I was saying earlier about why eBay is never going to act on any of these harassing messages, I read a very disturbing post in one of the Facebook groups. Normally I like to share screenshots, but I'm not going to share this one, and you'll know why in a second. All I can tell you is that I verified that this is true, and this message was sent to a seller. A seller sold an item to a customer. They got the item, and they were unhappy for some reason. And they wrote back a nasty message. And in the message it said, "I wish you lived near me so I could come to your house and put a bullet in your head." I swear to Christ on the cross in Brooklyn, this is the truth. I'm not a liar. You know I always give you straight talk. I'm not posting the screenshot. Number one, it's not my fight. I very rarely post anybody else's stuff. But I do want to impress upon you that you know what eBay told the seller? They said to them, "If you feel threatened, contact your local police department." Now this is running around in circles because the local cops can't do a thing because no crime was committed in the state where the seller lives. The crime was committed wherever the buyer lives, okay? And I realize it's not eBay's responsibility to contact law enforcement. I got no issue with that. But they need to kick threatening buyers off the platform. If you threaten to kill somebody, now, maybe I'm screwed up in the head. Maybe it's me, okay? I was away for a while. Now, maybe the news didn't get to me. Isn't that at least a terroristic threat? The seller did, as I said, report this to eBay, and I swear I don't believe they're going to do a thing about it. I've had similar instances over my 25-year career where I reported them, and they did nothing. They did nothing. There was one time they sent the buyer a warning notice saying something to the effect, stop using the contact system to threaten people. And then the guy wrote back and said he was going to kill me. Now, he lived in Canada, so I know there's no chance of him killing me. I'm not worried about that. But he should have been kicked off the platform just for saying that. That's serious stuff, guys. We're in the big leagues now. Let's talk now about some interesting feedback. I received an interesting feedback the other day. It was positive, but let me tell you about how it came about. A guy contacted me one day at around, let's just say, 10:30 in the morning about a particular hub I was selling. And he said, are there any dents or scratches or cracks in this hub at all? Now, when I get people asking me that question, it kind of makes me shake my head in disbelief, because you know me, you know how thorough I am. I have everything documented in the listing, and if there is a scratch or a dent, there's a close-up photo of it. So usually when I encounter somebody like this, it throws up a warning flag that maybe I don't want to deal with them because they don't read. Now, if on the other hand he would have asked me a legitimate question, I would have answered it quickly. So let's just say he said, is this for wheel size 14-inch or 15-inch? And if I had neglected to put that in the listing, I'd respond right away and say, oh, it's for 15-inch. Okay? So yeah. So I didn't respond right away because I was thinking to myself, do I want to deal with this guy or do I want to block him? Consequently, several hours went by and I just truthfully forgot about it. And the guy comes and does the buy it now and buys the item anyway. Okay. I ship him the item, he gets the item, and he leaves me positive feedback and says something like, item exactly as described, thank you. However, seller communication could be better. So, I guess he got his feelings hurt that I didn't respond to him right away. But in any event, it worked out okay. I'm just wondering if you guys have experienced anything like this. I'm sure you probably have. People lately seem to think we are on call 24 hours a day. Morning, noon, and night. Whether it's the middle of the night, whether it's the middle of the day, it's not unusual to get rapid-fire questions from the same buyer, one after the other. And God forbid if you're the seller who doesn't answer within 50 seconds. I'm not kidding. I had an interesting encounter regarding a return. And I'm a little disappointed in this, but let me tell you what happened really quick. Several weeks ago, a guy purchased an item from me. And I told you about this, but it had to be 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had the item listed for around, let's just say, $23. He sent me a best offer of $15. I accepted it, shipped him the item. He got it and wants to return it because he thought he was getting the really deep one instead of the shallow one. And the point that I made when I talked about this return a few weeks ago was how stupid and uneducated this person was, because not only did he make that mistake, but in his head he thought it was the really rare deep one, which is worth, serious coin. And this dope, instead of just doing the buy it now, had the audacity to send me a best offer of $15. To put it in the words of a layman, it's like if you were looking on eBay and you saw a guy list a Rolex watch for $20 with the best offer option. I mean, the best of the best Rolex watch for $20. Anyone with half a brain would click buy it now. Would you hit the best offer button and offer him $10? No. But that's what this old timer did. Well, anyway, he shipped the item back to me, but somehow on the way it dropped off the radar. This is a common thing with the post office, which is why I try and use UPS as much as I can. But this was a smaller hub, so I understand it had to go with the post office. When it got near the return date, eBay starts spamming me like crazy. Have you received the item back yet? Give the buyer his money back. If you don't give him the money back, we're going to step in and close the case on his behalf, and we're going to stick it to you, kind of thing. I didn't want that to happen. But I could see that it fell off the radar back on February 3rd. So I called concierge, explained everything. She looked at it. I thought maybe she had closed the case out. It was only $15 plus shipping. Instead, what she did was she added another 10-day grace period for that item to get back to me. She says, if it doesn't, then I have to call them again. I got to call them again and go through the whole routine and see if they'll give me a credit. What they'll do. If they'll close the case out, I don't know. But again, it dropped off the radar February 3rd. Today's the 14th. Will it ever show up? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Just another reason I hate to ship with the post office. So yeah, as I said earlier in the video, my sales have been good again this week. Last week was good. This week was good. I'm not setting the world on fire. I'm not breaking any records, but I'm satisfied. Okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing the last 2 weeks. Let's hope we can keep it going. I hope you guys are doing well on eBay. Feel free to share your comments, questions, and concerns. And if you have any other topics you'd like me to talk about next week, feel free to state them. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. Rock on and peace.